Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Market Report, Industry News and Insights. I'm your host, Travis Watts, the Director of Investor Development here at Ashcroft Capital. In today's episode, what we're talking about is Wall Street eating up Main Street. Disclaimers, as always, never financial advice, not telling you or anyone what to do with your money, so please always seek licensed financial advice when it comes to your own investing. Now, with that top of mind, I was just reflecting recently on when I first started in the real estate game, and this was at the tail end of the Great Recession, so 2008, 2009. I started buying in September of 2009, and there was a limited window of opportunity. I sometimes refer to this as the golden era for small-time landlords like myself, where there were just dozens and dozens of foreclosures and bank-owned properties on the market to choose from. And I was the lucky recipient to win a lot of these bids for many years. But as we ticked forward towards 2011, 12, 13, what I started to see in the market was a lot of these huge Wall Street firms coming in and buying up all of these distressed assets at 30 to 50% off from previous pricing, and start to really compete with people like myself. And it's one of the reasons that in 2015, I changed my strategy to investing as a limited partner in real estate private placements and syndications. Now, this trend of institutions coming in and buying up single family homes has just continued ever since and continues to get greater and greater. So now what we're seeing is Jeff Bezos is backing a company called Arrived Homes, which is a mega platform where everyday investors like you and I can invest in single family homes across the country for as little as $100. You can choose to invest in one single property that you choose, or their huge conglomerate fund that's going to own potentially thousands of single family homes. They also want to get into the short-term rental business. And oh, by the way, you can sell your house to their platform as well. Let's not forget that. And by the way, Jeff Bezos and Arrived Homes is not the only conglomerate that's been entering in recent times to the single family market. In fact, JP Chase announced a joint venture where they're allocating $1 billion to invest in single family homes across the country. So let's consider a few pros and cons really quick. A couple pros that come to mind is, yes, as an everyday person, you might be able to invest $100 into buying single family real estate across the US. Certainly a much lower barrier of entry compared to doing it on your own, and potentially a diversification piece for your portfolio. That's true. And for those that already own real estate, whether it's your owner-occupied home or single family rentals, this could actually really help boost the values if these huge conglomerates are competing against everyday investors. So that could be bullish for your current holdings. A couple cons to consider. Number one, track record and experience. That's a metric that I look at very heavily as an investor when I go into a syndication or a real estate fund. This is a new platform. It's a new concept. And we got to think that, Amazon's real bread and butter, they're a distribution company, not a real estate company. So what does that say about their potential performance? I don't know. I'm sure they're going to put great people in place, but it's something to be aware of. This is a brand new concept. Another con to consider is for anyone who's a first-time home buyer, or any family right now for that matter across America, looking to buy an owner-occupied home, you're now having to compete against the whales of the industry, JP Chase, Jeff Bezos, and other huge Wall Street conglomerate firms. Now, a little brief history on the single family ownership market. The pool of inventory used to be really driven by individual homeowners, and that was true for decades and decades. Then small-time investors started to trickle in, and then platforms like Airbnb and the concept of short-term rentals really sparked interest in the investment side, which brought Main Street and Wall Street and even syndicators into the space. And then we had Wall Street step in, and now we have Jeff Bezos and JP Chase to consider as well. And with such short supply in the market today, this is really a catalyst that's keeping prices elevated, one of many. Now let's talk about renters for a second. Is this a positive for renters? Well, anytime corporate America gets involved for investment purposes, everything becomes dollars and cents on a spreadsheet. So I remember being a landlord myself. I had, most of my properties, I wouldn't try to push rents to the top of the market. I would actually undercharge rents. And if I had a good tenant, for example, that always paid on time, I would be very hesitant to increase the rent on them year over year. So with corporate America, you better bet they got deep pockets, as we know. So there's going to be a lot of lobbying against things like rent control, for example, which then stacks the odds more in their favor. And there's going to be a lot of change potentially to the industry moving forward. So in short recap, do I think this is good for renters? I really don't. And something else to be aware of when it comes to this topic is that there were two recent bills that were submitted to Congress. And one of the proposals is to suggest that no individual or entity can own more than 74 homes without having to pay $10,000 per home, which of course nobody wants to do. The other proposal is to just straight up get corporate America out of the single family housing market. So we'll have to see what Congress and what the Senate says about these bills as we move forward, remembering this is an election year. And so with all of this in mind, what does the future hold and what's going to happen? I frankly don't know. I don't have a crystal ball, but I'd love to get your thoughts and opinions. So please leave a comment below this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Really helps the channel and videos like this reach more investors like you. You're listening to Market Report, market news and industry insights right here at Ashcroft Capital. If you want to take a deeper dive or learn more, reach out, Travis at ashcroftcapital.com. And to learn about current offerings and opportunities and how you can partner with us in real estate private placements in the multifamily space, visit ashcroftcapital.com. Thank you so much for being here. As always, have a great week, everyone. We'll see you in the next episode.